Today I'm sharing my 2024 wish list for skincare trends and products that I'm going to try this year. I have 5 things on the list, so keep watching and let me know if you're going to try any of these. Now, I've seen loads and loads of creators in different spaces making videos like this. Usually it's for like luxury or high-end items with a much higher ticket, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of do this for skincare. You might know that I'm moving back to the UK. So unfortunately, I'm going to be saying goodbye to this incredible view behind me. So I kind of have no idea what my YouTube setup will be. We'll figure it out when we get home. And with the whole move, I've been quite careful not to buy lots of new products. And instead, I kind of made a list of the things I'm going to keep my eye on for when we get back. And I figured that you guys might be interested. I'm Dr. Sapna. I'm a doctor who studied dermatology and I have acne prone skin, so that makes me the perfect person to talk about it. On this channel, we talk all about skincare reviews, dermatology, and everything else. Now, first up, I'm going to talk about skincare minimalism. I feel like everyone has slightly different understandings of what that means to them. For me, it's all about simplifying your skincare routine to make it easier and something that you'll stay more consistent with every day. I feel like we've moved away from those single ingredient products from places like the Inky List and the Ordinary. That's not to say they're not good brands and they're not good products, but I was just fed up with the confusion of layering serums and then they pill and then they feel sticky, and I'm just like, nah, not doing it. They're still good brands, but I personally just want to invest in products that do more than one thing and simplify my routine. So for me, skin minimalism is just about having 1 or 2 products and not overcomplicating the whole thing. And that's where I think multifunctional products will really come into play. Now, there are definitely brands that have been doing this for a long time, but I think in 2024, this is really going to take off. Now, the brands that execute this really well tend to be on the pricier side. And I think that's because a lot of research and development goes into making these multifunctional products. Something that is big on my list that I'm kind of surprised I haven't tried already, only because I love every single product from this brand, so I have no idea why I wouldn't love this as well. It's the CEO Afterglow from Sunday Riley. Now, this is their vitamin C gel cream moisturizer. I've said this a load of times that I really like the lightweight moisturizers, especially in hotter weather. If you have oily skin, this might be perfect. For me, I've just been struggling to find the vitamin C that does anything for my skin. There's only a few that I've gotten on really well with, and Sunday Riley does have that one. I feel like if I could try a vitamin C in the moisturizer that is the perfect light texture, this could be a massive win for me. I've always found the Sunday Riley products just so well made, so I feel like this will be no exception. If it does what it says on the tin, it could be a perfect vitamin C for acne prone skin. If you've got acne prone skin, you might find vitamin C is quite irritating, especially if you're using other high strength active ingredients. But this might solve a lot of those issues if it is in that moisturizing gel cream base. There are lots of benefits to vitamin C. I'm not going to go into depth about that today, but it's supposed to brighten and keep your skin with that natural glow. That's exactly what I found when I used the Sunday Riley CEO serum, and they've added some extra soothing ingredients to help along the way. The next skincare trend on my radar is barrier repair and hydrating essences. Maybe this is more of a 2023 trend, but it's worked so well for me, so why would I stop now? There are quite a few products in this category, especially in the Korean skincare world, and I'm constantly wanting to try new ones because I just find it makes my skin so happy and I love using these products. As always, I'm going to put a number of the screen with each product so you can find the product easily in the description box below. If you're enjoying this video and find it helpful, hit the subscribe button. I've got so many other videos about skincare that you'll love. I create videos each week about all things skincare, so definitely check them out. One of the essences I'm desperate to try is from Beauty of Joseon. Again, this is a brand that I've liked a lot of products from so far, particularly the SPF and the cleansing oil. And I feel like this essence will be right on that level. I've tried it a few times in store and I always get really tempted to buy it, and then I just hold off because I know that I've got too many products on the go at the moment. But I know that this is definitely something I'll be buying in 2024. What I love is that it has a small amount of niacinamide in it, but it just is so refreshing, and that is the best part of using these sorts of toners. They're like hydrating, refreshing, and they just make you feel like a brand new person. So this is definitely something I'm going to try next year. I've also been wanting to try the Centella toner from Skin 1004. 1004? 1004? Skin 1004. I tried this brand when I was in Korea and I've seen them in the stores. Again, a super lightweight essence. This does have a little bit of polyhydroxy acid in it, a very gentle exfoliating toner. I still think that my skin will love it as long as I'm not pairing it with other exfoliating toners. So I definitely want to be trying this because it does have that centella, that very soothing and hydrating skincare ingredient that I just love. I know my skin really enjoys it, so I definitely have this on my list. The last product I have on this category is the Ordinary Barrier Support Serum. I feel like everyone's seen this online on TikTok, Instagram. It's the pink stuff. It definitely looks a bit like an anti-indigestion medication. I feel like if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's got that bright pink color. I feel like it was so kind of on trend on 2023 with all the Barbie stuff as well. I haven't really used any of the Ordinary products in a really long time. There's nothing that's really like stuck in my skincare routine that I keep like wanting to try or repurchase. But this is one of their newer serums that has caught my eye and I think I will try it this year. It's got all these calming and soothing actives, basically niacinamide, centella, ceramides, all these things that are gonna soothe my skin and support its barrier and hydration function. Again, like I said, this is such a big trend for the year. I really do think that it's such an important step in your skincare routine, and I think it's the one that people forget the most. The next trendy products that I want to try this year is using retinols around the eyes. Now this is something that I've always been super cautious about. Although I do have some fine lines and wrinkles around my eyes, I know that the skin around your eyes is super sensitive. The skin there is thinner than the skin elsewhere. You also have kind of less fat pads and things around the eyes. I also have quite dark circles around the eyes just because of the shape of my face, and that's meant that I've always been quite interested in skincare around my eyes. One thing I do want to try is using active ingredients, basically vitamin A around the eyes. Now there are a bunch of brands who have started incorporating vitamin A into their eye creams. Previously it's mostly been hydrating ingredients in your eye creams. Occasionally people put caffeine as well as like a depuffing agent, but there are a few brands that are making these high-end retinol or retinaldehyde products for the eyes. Now I have already started using the Sunday Riley one. This one is a pretty gentle retinoid blend. I found that I've gotten on with it pretty well. I do really like the applicator, but I do want to compare it to the Crystal Retinal for Eyes by Medik8. As I've mentioned on this channel a million times, I love Medik8 products. I've used quite a lot of them. I've also used the Crystal Retinal for the face, but now they've made an eye cream version, and supposedly that is going to be more suitable for around the eye. Now, I must admit, a part of me does sometimes feel like eye creams are a bit of a scam, because often the ingredients that you use around the face can be taken up to the eye, and that's especially true for like moisturizers and hydrators. But when it comes to actives, I'm just a little bit more careful. I know that my skin has built up quite a high tolerance for vitamin A, and I just don't know if my eyes are gonna suit it just as well. So some of these kind of intermediate products might be a good idea where they've put a little bit extra hydrating and calming ingredients in it. I can't say whether or not this particular product is a scam or not, purely because I just haven't tried it. I want to find out if it's worth paying the premium for the eye product, or if you can just kind of use the Crystal Retinals up towards your eyes anyway. So yeah, watch this space for that. The next 2024 trend that we're really seeing come up a lot is body care. Now this is something that historically I have neglected. I don't make huge amounts of effort for cream for my body. I use something very simple, even like the CeraVe giant like hydrating moisturizing pump. But I can just see this as a massive emerging trend from lots of different brands, and even from like beauty brands as well. I've just seen that Rare Beauty have come up with a bunch of products for the body, all these moisturizers, things like that, that do look really exciting. For me, the direction I'm going to be heading in is using some active ingredients for the body. And I feel like that's where this trend is really going. Now for this trend, the brand that I'm most excited about by far is Naturium. They have a massive body care range. They have loads of body washes and moisturizers, and really depending on what issue you might suffer with, whether it's keratosis pilaris, just a bit of dry skin, or no particular issue, there is something for everyone. And they have these bottles that look massive that will last you a long time. And I think this could really like up your body care game if that's what you're interested in. For me, until now, I always felt like I didn't really have time for body care because I'd spent so long trying to deal with my acne and my facial skincare routine. But now that I'm a bit older, I feel like this is something I want to put a bit more energy into. This is definitely not something everyone needs to have. You can get really affordable body washes and body creams from Boots, even supermarkets. So don't worry too much if this is not a priority for you, but this is something I think I'm going to jump on board with this year. And this next trend is kind of connected to that as well, and that is hair care. Now, I've seen on social media there are amazing hair influencers who have the most beautiful, luscious locks, and they're trying all the different products for hair. I do find that hair care is really difficult because everyone has slightly different hair. Their hair kind of reacts in different ways. If you've got damage or hair dye, it can really change what your hair does. My hair is kind of like wavy, curly, and that kind of vibe. This year, I really want to prioritize protecting it from the heat and just trying to find a like low maintenance curly hair routine. Most of the curly hair routines are a lot of effort, and if you wash your hair like frequently, if you think your hair gets greasy, it's just not worth it because it takes so long. I've tried it with a few like basic beginner products, but actually like unless you commit the full like 100%, you're not going to get these like beautiful luscious curls that I just don't know how I can do that. My hair is probably not as thick and as curly as you kind of need for that, and your hair does kind of train over time, so I guess if I persisted. But this year I just want to focus on hydrating my hair, keeping my hair nice and silky and soft, as well as looking after my scalp as well. I really haven't found the like perfect products for this yet, so I do want your recommendations. Let me know in the comments. But the brands that I'm looking to try is Aveda. I think I've tried one or two of their like hair creams to protect it from heat, and so far those have been pretty good. They are a bit on the expensive side, so if people have like more affordable brands, I want to hear about it as well. And the last skincare trend that I think everyone should really consider is nutrition. Now, I don't mean supplements alone. I think that there is a role for supplements in people's lives, but I'm just talking about thinking about what you eat. Now, I think there are so many micronutrients that are available in our food that can help our skin and hair, things that just help your skin function as it should. This is a topic that is generally quite poorly understood in skincare, dermatology, and science, purely because it's something that's quite difficult to control and manage. And to be honest, like companies don't make lots of money by people being more careful about their food. What they do make money from is having supplements, and that's another kind of part of this industry that is really taking off in 2024. Now, I really don't think that supplements are a problem. I think that there is a role for that in certain people's lives, but I think before you kind of jump to supplements, it's probably worth just having a look at your diet to begin with. There might be ways that you can make adjustments without having to spend loads of money on supplements as well. And this is something that I really want to think carefully about in 2024. I'm going to be looking at my food, thinking about what I can eat, whether it's fresh fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, that can really help bring those micronutrients for my skin. And I know that there are also foods that worsen your skin, that worsen your acne, any inflammatory skin conditions, particularly things like sugars. There is lots of debate about dairy that I'm not gonna sort of comment on right away, but I do think there is a lot more work and research that I'm gonna do this year about this topic. A couple of things that I plan on looking closely at is zinc and probiotics. There is a lot of emerging data about these, and zinc is pretty well known to help with acne. I did do like a really deep dive about collagen supplements, so you can check that video out here. I would never say that I think all supplements are fads, because I think that there are some really important micronutrients that do help your skin, but I do just want us all to be more educated about what we put in our body. That particular trend I really think is like a big journey, and it's not something we can kind of just answer straight away, so it's something I'm going to be working on throughout the year. I hope that was interesting, giving you a bit of insight into the trends and products that I'm going to be thinking about in 2024. Let me know if you have any similar ideas or if you're looking at something completely different. I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're hanging around, check out this video that's a skincare routine for beginners in 2024. This is for people who really don't know where to start and just want to get going with their skincare this year. Thanks for watching.